Yes guys, everything bite-sized here, back with another mental health video. This one is about PTSD. I suffer from PTSD myself, especially surrounding knives, so I might get a bit emotional when we're discussing this. The thread is titled, "What is your PTSD like for you?" And the top comment says, "Was diagnosed with PTSD at 21 years of age. I am now 24. I'm a pretty energetic person and did not really think anything was wrong until I had a recurrent nightmare 3 nights in a row about the mother of my child turning into a demon and swallowing me whole. Went to the doctors, prescribed PTSD meds. After a few years of introspective work on myself, I've come to realise more of my symptoms. I could name a few here: heightened sense of awareness to threats, short periods of intense grief, constant reminders of traumatic experiences every day, troubled sleep / wired all night, need marijuana or alcohol to sleep, impulsive substance abuse like taking LSD, MDMA or DMT a lot, trying to escape reality or feel more, self-harm when intoxicated, burning myself with cigarettes, letting others do it to me so I can feel something to let me know I can still feel things correctly, trouble with work, relationships, anger, rage, anxiety all at the same time, hallucinations when tired, sometimes a really loud noise that's not there, like it's in the back of my mind, will make me snap really hard back into reality when trying to sleep, and that in itself feels insane. It's like a loud gunshot. Alcohol abuse mixed with intense grief, doing insane things no one else does, like ride a bike 70 miles or run 5 miles. Seems like I could find a way to mentally let go of some of the trauma I've experienced, but there's just some things you cannot change. I found medication and DMT to be one of the best relievers of trauma, along with eating healthy and exercise works just about as good as a nice hit of DMT. Wow, okay, fair enough. Just as a side note, I've done DMT before in the past and a lot of LSD, I relate to a lot of what he's saying, but personally I don't think I know psychedelics have potential and can be used in a good way, medically speaking. But for me personally, with my bipolar disorder, I feel like I should stay away from psychedelics. Anyway, carrying on. Life's hard. My life's hard. Your life's hard. We all got to deal with it somehow. I just received my official diagnosis of PTSD last week when I got petitioned for alcohol abuse and ending yourself ideation. Sometimes it's okay to feel what you're feeling and put your pride to the side and go get some help. That's actually the best time to do it. So if you're contemplating taking buspirone or something else, or voyaging on an adventure of inner self-healing, I wish you the best of luck and all of God's blessings on your path to health and feeling better. If anyone needs help or someone to talk to, don't be afraid to DM and reach out. Peace and love. Okay, so that person sounds like a really nice person who's really struggling. I relate to a lot of the symptoms that he describes. I just personally think that psychedelics are very dangerous and should be, if they are used, it should be in a clinical setting and very cautiously. That's just my opinion, and I know that's going to be controversial. There might be a lot of people who disagree with me, but this isn't coming from some boomer who doesn't understand drugs and is saying that all drugs are bad. I'm not saying that. Like I've said on my channel, like I'm a recovering heroin addict. I've done pretty much all the drugs out there, and I've been addicted to many of them. And for some people, they should stay away from recreational drugs because they've got addictive tendencies or it triggers their mental health issues. But I understand also that for some people it helps them with things like PTSD and their other mental health issues and physical issues. So I'm personally, I'll get political right now. I think all drugs should be decriminalised, and I think they should actually be legalised, and I think you should be able to go to a pharmacy and get any drug in its pure form, in proper doses, and I'm talking about any drug in its pure form, in the right doses, so you know what you're taking, you know it's safe, you're less likely to overdose, there's no contamination, and they should keep up with these shooting ranges, they call them, where like you can go and safely inject and people keep an eye on you and make sure you don't overdose. Like some of the world is going the right way about the war on drugs, but like England and the UK and like a lot of the rest of the world are still very backwards about it. Anyway, enough about talking about drugs. Like I said, it's different for everyone. I just personally don't recommend taking psychedelics. That's just me. Anyway, on to the next comment. So obviously we're still talking about PTSD. Used to be debilitating, but now 4 years later I feel mostly quote unquote normal, and it looks like really bad mood every night starting at 8 p.m. until morning, avoiding guaranteed triggers still, a couple days a month where I can't get out of bed / don't leave my home, nightmares that come and go, panic, jumpiness walking alone even outside in daylight, and I don't ever try to go alone at night, suspicious always. Okay, next one. I don't have nightmares because I also have a brain injury and don't dream at all that I'm aware of. Okay, so they will be dreaming, they've just got no dream recall. But anyway, so for me, PTSD is being afraid to leave my house without my SD. Well, I don't know what SD means. Jumping at every sound, not owning a phone or driving a car. I get periods of silence, shutdown, HARM, getting out of bed and feeling anxious as soon as my feet hit the floor. I get some flashbacks from sounds, and that has led to sudden panic attacks. Once I've got a flashback from an RF scanner at a grocery store. It's super tiring. I feel constantly in a state of dread, like I'm expecting it all to happen all over again at any moment. Okay, I'm going to read this next comment, and then I'm going to maybe talk about my own PTSD. Okay, so diagnosed PTSD with dissociation on the severe side. Trauma started at age 3 and ended after our roommates left when I was 27. I was groomed by I'm going to say creep from 7 years to the age of 12. I don't anymore and haven't in years. History of self-HARM. Hypervigilance. I feel secure knowing who is around me at all times. If I watch everyone else, then maybe no one... Oh no, I feel so sorry. I knew it was going to come on to one of these bad ones. Let me start again. Oh dear, let me have a think. Because when I was young, I experienced a very mild creep experience. So this is me speaking now. This is on a scale of 1 to 10 of how bad this type of thing can get. This was a 1, but it was enough that it stuck with me all these years. So I was in a supermarket, and I was really young, probably about 6 or something like that. I went into the men's room by myself, the bathroom, and after I'd finished, I was washing my hands, and a guy came behind me really close, so our bodies were completely touching, and started trying to help me wash and dry my hands. And I ran out, found my mum, and she told the staff, and they gave me and my brother a £20 gift voucher each for the store. But the guy who did it was nowhere to be found. Anyway, so that's just like a very, very mild version of what people can go through, like on a scale of 1 to 10. Like it's like a 0.5 or a 1. But I've got PTSD surrounding knives. I've had knives pulled on me, held to my throat. I've been threatened to be stabbed multiple times. The threat of physical altercation, a lot, and I have a lot of PTSD. So this is quite emotional reading this, but I'm gonna read this last comment. Okay. Diagnosed PTSD with dissociation on the severe side. Trauma starting at age 3, and oh no, bless him, and ending after our roommates left when I was 27. I was groomed by a creep from age 7 years of age to 12. I don't self HARM anymore and haven't in years. Hypervigilance. I feel secure knowing who is around me at all times. If I watch everyone else, then maybe no one will hurt me again. When I go out to eat, I sit with my back to a wall so no one can sneak up on me. Oh, I relate to this so much. Multiple episodes. Depersonalization, when something reminds me of a traumatic event. Yep. Distrust of others. All of my abusers were men and one was a woman, so I assume that someone is going to hurt me as soon as I meet them, or I don't fully trust them because I can't. It's not anything personal, it's my way of keeping myself safe. Trauma responses are ingrained in my personality. I'm afraid to celebrate accomplishments. I don't like it when people yell, just to name a couple of things. I'm very observant and pick up on little details, facial expressions, etc. My mother has severe anger problems and my biological father did too, so I learned to look for early warning signs. I used to seek out photos of accidents and was often on 50/50 or other subreddits like it. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't sleeping, and my therapist pointed out that I seek those things because it's all I know. I stopped and now I read cookbooks and other good things instead. I sleep better now and don't have as many episodes. Weightlifting is my biggest outlet. I take out all my anger on the weights and it boosts my confidence. Woo! Wow. I'm gonna stop there. I think they summed it up pretty well. Again, like, my experience with a creep was very, very small, but it was enough to be one of my earliest memories. And on a scale of 1 to 10 with my PTSD, it's still low. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get a lot worse than my PTSD is, like a lot worse. But it's enough. Like, I've seen some, oh man, the things just flash straight to my mind. I've seen some horrific stuff, and I've been through some horrific stuff. One of the main ones that really gets to me, this is something that happened to my mate who decided to end himself. This happened to him a long time ago. He was my best mate. It was like my brother, and a few years ago he hit the escape key and game overed himself. Years ago we were getting drunk, and there was loads of us. We were all out like a load of kids, yeah, like having fun, getting drunk. And he must have annoyed this guy somehow, pissed off this guy who's a nutter. My mate's sitting down, and I see this guy come up, bang, hits him straight in the face with a empty liter bottle of whiskey or vodka or whatever. The bottle smashes, and then he starts repeatedly stabbing my mate in the face with the broken bottle until there was no glass left to stab him with. And then he kicked him straight in the face, yeah. And it all happened so quickly, yeah. It was like bang, hit him. I can remember it just so vividly. Bang, hits him in the face, stab, kick. Yeah, it all happened in the space of about 2 seconds or 3 seconds, yeah. Like, this guy was trying to end my mate, honestly, yeah. He was trying to do him over. And then, there was no blood because it all happened so quickly, yeah. And my mate had stood there and took it still the whole time like a statue, yeah. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it was like Carrie or The Shining. Blood just poured down his face as all the wounds finally let out blood, and this all happened in the space of about 5 seconds. Like 3 seconds for the attack, and then 2 seconds, and then bang, all the blood started coming down. That has stuck with me for, oh my god. And then I think I've got PTSD from losing him as well. And he was like my best mate. He was like my brother. We had our own culture, our own sense of humour, our own language. Not a whole language, but you know, there was a lot of words that we made up that only me and him understood the context of. He was my brother, and now he's gone, and the main memory I have of him is that traumatic event. And I've had like I've had a knife held to my throat. I've been threatened to be stabbed. I've been in physical altercations. I've been in plenty of verbal altercations that nearly turned physical. I've just seen a lot of fights. Oh man, I knew this video would get me emotional. I think I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry guys, like I got kind of sidetracked. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think they explained it quite well, and I've added my own personal touch to it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. You've been locked into everything bite-sized. Check out my music videos, check out my shorts, check out my other content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.